My dear friends, welcome to Rajashekhar classes on applied data science with Python. This is lecture number 231. In this lecture, we will try to understand geometrical interpretation of eigenvalues and eigenvectors in the context of principal component analysis. Let me assume this is my feature 1. This is along x-axis. This is my feature 1. This is my feature 2. And if I have original data, this is the original data. This is the original data like this. Now your v1, I can say like this. Your v1 was u1. What is u1? We already discussed in previous lecture, which means this is direction. This direction. This is u1. That I can say this is v1. We will try to understand. Let me say like this. Data is two-dimensional. Why? Because I have feature 1, I have feature 2. How many dimensions are there? Data is two-dimensional, which means your d equal to 2, isn't it? Its dimension is 2, as there are only two features. As you have two features, you will get two eigenvalues, lambda 1 and lambda 2, and correspondingly, let me say lambda 1 is greater than or equal to lambda 2, and v1 is an eigenvector corresponding to lambda 1, and v2 is an eigenvector corresponding to lambda 2. We also know that v1 is perpendicular to v2. They are perpendicular. That's the property of eigenvector. Means any two eigenvectors are perpendicular to each other, isn't it? So what we exactly did here is we took our data. Let me say this one like this. We took our data, which is represented with feature 1 with the feature 2. There are two features, isn't it? Now, and we just the axis. Let me say like this. What did we do? We literally rotated. Let me say like this. Yes. What did we do? We literally rotated this one feature 1 by some angle theta, isn't it? By angle theta. Also rotated f2 is my feature 2 by same angle theta, isn't it? So that your rotated axes are perpendicular to each other. Also rotated f2 by same angle theta. We rotated our axis such that we rotated our axis such that our top eigenvector of covariance matrix, our top eigenvector of this is top eigenvector. Top eigenvector indicates this one u1, our top eigenvector of the covariance matrix of x corresponding to the direction where the variance is maximal. Variance is maximal, spread is maximal, information is maximum. We can say in different ways. That in that way we are rotating. Since it is two-dimensional data, we have two eigenvalues and we have two eigenvectors. Now imagine what happens if I have 10-dimensional data. We will try to understand. If I have 10-dimensional data, this is valid question. Imagine if my xi, let me say, if my xi belongs to R10. That is 10-dimensional data, isn't it? Which means my d equal to 10. That is 10-dimensional data. Yes, in that case, what we have to do? How many eigenvalues you will get? you will get 10 eigenvalues, lambda 1 greater than or equal to, I will arrange like this, lambda 2 is greater than or equal to, lambda 3 is greater than or equal to, so on, lambda 10. Correspondingly, you will have 10 eigenvectors. For lambda 1, I will get an eigenvector v1. For lambda 2, I will get an eigenvector v2. For lambda 3, I will get an eigenvector v3. For lambda 10, I will get an eigenvector v10. Now, v1 will corresponding to the direction, this v1 will corresponding to the direction with the maximal variance, with the maximum direction of maximum variance. In the case of 2 dimensions, if there are 2 eigenvectors and eigenvalues, lambda 1 is greater than or equal to lambda 2 means v1, v2. This v1 indicates direction with maximal variance, maximal spread. That is 2-dimensional case. Now I am saying about 10-dimensional space. Therefore, what about v2? What is v2? v2 will corresponding to second direction with most variance. What about v3? v3 is third maximum variance. In that case, in similar manner, v10, that's the what is v10? The least variance. Where you can find least variance? The least variance. You can see least variance, isn't it? That's the geometric interpretation. Anyway, let me repeat this one. Just I am rewriting this one. Just see this one. Interpretation of eigenvalues. Let me say your xi. Xi is my data set. As I told you, there is 10-dimensional. Your d equal 10. As it is, you will get 10-dimensional data matrix, so that you will get 10 eigenvalues and 10 eigenvectors. I am arranging all these eigenvalues like this. These are the corresponding eigenvectors. Now you must say something about eigenvectors. What is v1? This is important. Direction with the maximum variance. What about v2? Second direction with the most variance. With second direction with most variance. That's important. Second direction with most variance. What about v10? That is least variance. The direction with the least variance is v10. Isn't it? That's what your eigenvectors, your v1, v2, so on, v10 indicates. Now, what about your eigenvalues? Eigenvalues, let me write otherwise. Eigenvalues are used to see how data is spread. How data is spread. What is the purpose of eigenvalues? You can understand how data is spread. It means whether data is spread on one axis or other axis too. We will try to understand this. Just assume this is case 1. In case 1, it is just like straight line. Your data is just like straight line. What about case 2? It is just like an ellipse, isn't it? What about case 3? It is just like wider ellipse. Just say it is something like wider ellipse. What about case 4? It is just like circle. If you observe carefully, this is feature 1, this is feature 2, this is v1, this is v2. Lambda 1 is first eigenvector, lambda 2 is second eigenvector, v1 is an lambda 1 first eigenvalue, lambda 2 second eigenvalue, v1 is first eigenvector, v2 is second eigenvector. If you observe carefully, if lambda 1 equal to 3 means you can see all data is along v1. There is no spread. Along v2. That's why I am keeping lambda 2 equal to 0. In the case 2, just see, I have got some spread. Lambda 1 equal to 3, but lambda 2 equal to 1 means I have got some spread on in the direction of v2 also. Here what's happening? Even you have more spread, you have also got considerable amount of spread along v2. We will here you have equal spread on along v1 and v2. We will try to understand all these with simple numerical calculations. Let me explain case by case. Now you might have understood in case 1. Just otherwise, let me keep in separate slide. What is this? Is my case 1. What it indicates? In case 1, what is my lambda 1? Lambda 1 by lambda 1 plus lambda 2. What is my lambda 1? Lambda 1 is 3. Lambda 1 plus lambda 2 means 3 plus 3 equal to 3 plus 0 is 3. That is, which is equal to 1. This is basically percentage of variance in the data that is already explained. This is 1 means what? 100% of data that is already explained by lambda 1. I can say like that, isn't it? Or percentage of information that is preserved. I can say percentage of information preserved. Information preserved, isn't it? That is, in this case, if I project all of my data, in this case, if I project all of my data to V1, since lambda 2 equal to 0, since all of them lie on V1 and losing, I cannot lose no information. If I project all of my data, on V1, I will not lose any information because there is no spread on V2. We saw the spread is basically, spread means information. Spread and information are related ideas. Now we will try to understand case 2. What about this case 2? Let me calculate this ratio. What is my lambda 1 by lambda 1 plus lambda 2? What will you get here? What is my lambda 1? 3. Lambda 1 plus lambda 2 means 3 plus 1, 4. 3 by 4 means how much percentage? I can say for 25, that is 75%. What does it mean? Which means if I project all of my this data, on V1, if I want to discard V2, if I want to convert 2D to 1D, that is dimensionality reduction. If I want to convert 2D to 1D, 2D to 1D projection, if I choose V1 as a direction, if I choose V1 as a direction, V1 as a direction on which I am projecting. If it is the case, what happens? On which I am projecting, I am going to conserve, or I am going to explain, or I am going to retain how much information? I am going to retain 75% of the information content, isn't it? Means I am going to lose 25% of information if I convert this 2D to 1D. What about my case 3? Just if I calculate lambda 1 by lambda 1 plus lambda 2, I will get 3 by 3 plus 2, 5 into 100 means 5 20 is 100, that is 60%, isn't it? What does it mean? In this case, if I project all of my data, onto V1, I am only going to preserve 60% of data. Why? There is some spread. Why? Because there is some spread on V2 also. If I want to go from 2D to 1D, by projecting all the data onto V1, since there is considerable spread on this V2 axis also, just say considerable spread on V2 axis also, I am going to lose all of that information, all of that variance, and that is roughly I am going to lose 40% of information, isn't it? In this case, what about my case 4? Let me say my case 4 is, if I calculate lambda 1 by lambda 1 plus lambda 2, what will I get? I will get 3 by 6, that is 1 by 2 into 100. What does it mean? It is 50%, isn't it? What does it mean? Which means if I project my data onto V1, I am almost losing 50% of the information. So lambda gives you a relative scale or relative percentage of information. I can say here you must understand geometrical interpretation of eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Your V's means what? Your eigenvectors tells you the direction. What will they tell? The direction of the direction of where the variance is maximum. What about this is about eigenvectors? What about eigenvalues? What lambda says? Lambdas tell you how data is spread. How data is spread, percentage of data, percentage of information, how data is spread. Is the data is spread in only one axis? This will tell is the data is spread, is the data spread in only one axis, spread in only one axis, or it is spread in other axis also, isn't it? I will repeat. Your eigenvalues tell how data is spread. Is the data spread only in one axis, or is it also spread on other axis? If lambda is small, you know that I can just project. I can do I think I need not repeat, just understand. These 2 points are essence. This, isn't it? I don't have any means depending on as usual. This lambda indicate spread of the data. Is the spread is on only one axis, on two axes, or on different axes. This V indicates direction on which variance is maximum. Just go through this lecture. It's an important lecture. If you have any difficulty, just keep a comment. Thank you very much.